Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another EKB SCiNiTO AI training workshop. My name is Reza. I'll be your host for today, and I will be joined by Farishta Falla, who is the product manager of SCiNiTO AI, who will be helping answer some of your questions about SCiNiTO as we go through today's workshop. Today, we are going to take another look at SCiNiTO AI and how it's designed to help the researcher step by step. We'll then jump into a demo where we'll take a hands-on look at the remaining features in practice and understand what SCiNiTO can be capable of. Now, this is the advanced session of this series of workshops. The basic session was about 2 weeks ago, and if you missed it and are interested in finding out more about SCiNiTO and the features we showed there, the recording of it is available at Notion Wave Apps on YouTube. So make sure to check that out. So a quick intro as to who we are. At Notion Wave here, we are a long-term partner of EKB since 2016 to be specific, offering various services and products to support researchers in Egypt. We've recently started EKB AI initiatives in order to try and bring AI to academic spaces and provide researchers with tools to further enhance their research and save time and so on and so forth. SCiNiTO AI is just the newest product that we would like to introduce to you today, as well as a couple weeks ago, to continue this series of workshops. So without further ado, let us take a look at the outline of today's webinar. First, we'll start with a recap of what we talked about in the basic workshop for those of you who might have missed that one and are joining us for the first time now, and also as a reminder for everyone who was present in the basic workshop as well, just to get a bit of a catch up before we jump into the rest of it. Then we'll take a look at how SCiNiTO is designed with its various features to help the research workflow step by step. Last time we took a general look at all its features and quickly glossed over this. This time we'll take a little bit more of an in-depth look at this in particular, and then I'll give you the demo I've mentioned, which for today we're focused on a few of the features such as the reviewer, journal recommendation, the PDF analysis, and projects and notes. If you're interested in seeing the smart search and the AI chat, that is once again in the basic session. Then we'll try and answer some of your questions in the Q&A section, myself and Farishta, and just make sure to post them and type them in the Q&A function here in Zoom all throughout the webinar as they come up, and we'll try and get to as many as we can given our time today. Finally, there will be a survey, a poll running in two parts. One of it, the first part should be starting now, and we'd appreciate if you took a little bit of time to fill that out. It will help us with the feedback you give on improving these sessions, as well as SCiNiTO itself. And then there will be also the second part of it near the end of the webinar, which I will mention. So with the outline taken care of, let's recap what we talked about last time. Now, we introduced SCiNiTO. For those of you joining us new today, you might be wondering what SCiNiTO AI even is. To give you a brief introduction to it, SCiNiTO is an AI-powered research platform and assistant. It has access to more than 270 million scholarly works, over 62 million of which are open access, and it is designed to help you with every step of research, to save you time, to make your work more efficient and faster. Now, you can have all of its features and everything you would need to conduct research in a single platform, so you don't have to jump around different software and different websites to be able to do that. But long definition short, it's a platform where scholarly works and AI come together to help the researcher. Don't worry, at no point does SciNiTO directly write anything for you, and that would be against academic integrity, which is very much important to us here at Notion Wave. So you don't need to worry about that. It is a tool designed to help. That is what SciNiTO is. We then took a look at all of its features, the smart search, the AI chat, the journal recommendation, the reviewer, PDF analysis, and collaboration tools, the last few of which we'll take a hands-on look at today. But the smart search and AI chat we took a look at last time. I will show you a couple of things that I didn't get the time to show you last time, but for a full-on look, you can check the basic session. Then we took a look at how to access EKB SciNiTO AI for our EKB users in Egypt. SciNiTO AI and all of its features and capabilities are completely free as long as you just sign in with your EKB credentials, which I will actually show you once again today just to make sure everyone knows how to do that, and you will have the ability to use all of its features with a single sign-in. So that should be easy to do. I will show you in a bit. Then we had the live demos of the Smart Search and the AI chat, along with some real examples, which I will show you in the beginning of today's demo as a tiny little recap as well. And next up, finally, it will be, we talked about the AI for Research Training Network and Advocate Program, which I will reintroduce today as well. And we will send the links for the applications as well, if you are interested. So let's jump in properly now, and let's talk a little bit about how SciNiTO can help the research workflow step by step. First of all, identifying a proper research gap in your field of study might be a difficult and time-consuming thing. It will require you to scan through large volumes of literature, articles, book chapters to find what you may be looking for. That will potentially take weeks, if not more, and it is a difficult process. SciNiTO, SciNiTO AI, with some of its features, including the smart search and the AI chat, can help expedite this process by a lot. The smart search is called the smart search because of its various filtering capabilities, and you will be able to narrow down from millions of, or thousands of scholarly works down to the tens, if not the ones, and you will be able to find what you're looking for, or even just based on the numbers, identify that research gap. And the AI chat, with its various capabilities, can provide very comprehensive multi-section analyses on certain matters that you ask it. It will search throughout its database. It won't just make up an answer or find it out of nowhere. Its sources are credible, verifiable, and you will be able to trust that it is not making anything up. Now, that was the research gap and identifying that. Next up is the literature review, which if you have done a bit of research, can be a very time-consuming and difficult thing for you to be able to review, organize, and synthesize hundreds of papers or however many sources you have can take a lot of time. Now, once again, SciNiTO is not designed to directly help you or break the academic integrity, but with its features, such as the AI chat, it will be able to help you properly find the sources you're looking for. And also with the reviewer agent, it will review your literature review as well, your references, to make sure they reflect the rest of your work. And it will give you feedback, actionable feedback that you can use. Next is about designing your study and planning your methodology. For you to be able to ensure that the research design aligns with existing standards and isn't redundant can be very challenging. SciNiTO AI, with its various capabilities, one including the collaboration feature, can help you get help in doing that. You can allow other users, your colleagues, for example, to have access to that project, which we'll actually take a look at today. And they can add notes, they can check your references. For example, you have an assistant professor, someone who's helping you with your research, and they will be able to help you in a single platform, skipping many steps of communication and delays and such. Then, for you to actually conduct the research and analyze your data, that can be very disorganized. We've mentioned everything being time consuming. Of course, it is research, but organization is one of the other big challenges. You don't want to have 15 browser tabs open and 3 different software apps open just to be able to do one research project. So with SciNiTO, everything can be organized in one place. Your projects can be managed, all the data in them, documents, notes, resources and sources, references and such, with you as well as your co-researchers. The AI chat, once again, can assist with comparing results of sources that you find to allow you to understand your sources and the things you're looking for in a quicker and more efficient way than having to read through an entire article. Then it is about the manuscript. Once you've written your manuscript of your research, you may want to have it reviewed for publication and such, but the reviewing process itself can be very stressful, very difficult, and faced with potentially rejection. So how can SciNiTO help here? SciNiTO cannot help you write your manuscript. That is something you should do, as we've mentioned before as well. But what SciNiTO can do with the reviewer is analyze your manuscript, its structure, clarity, completeness, and it can provide you a pre-review set of notes and a bit of feedback, the strengths of your manuscript, the weaknesses, and what you can do to improve. So that's something else we'll be able to take a look at today as well. Last but not least, it's finding the proper journal to potentially get published in. Now, to ensure that your work is relevant to that journal and fits there, and you have a higher chance of getting accepted potentially. It could be a journal that you haven't heard of before or you want to search for. SciNiTO can help you based on your manuscript, or if you don't want to upload it, just the title and abstract of your work, find journals for you that are the most related, and you will be able to take things from there. That is how SciNiTO AI can help the research workflow. There are many, many more examples, some of which we've taken a look at in the basic session, some of which we'll take a look at here. And we also encourage you to jump into SciNiTO AI and start using it yourself to be able to realize how many steps or what steps that are taking a lot of time from you can be made much faster with the help of SciNiTO. Now, I'm going to show you how to access EKB SciNiTO AI if you are an Egypt user and have your EKB credentials. There are 3 easy ways to do this. As you can see here, if you just go to ekb.scinido.ai, you will be faced with this page where at the top right, there is a button that says sign in with EKB. If you press that, simply, you will be taken to the EKB website and you will be prompted to log in or sign in. By entering your EKB credentials, your email address and password, you will then be redirected back to SciNiTO and you will be signed in and all of its features will be available to you. The second way is by going through directly the EKB website, by first logging in, entering your email and password, and then going to the top of the page, clicking sources, and then English sources. By scrolling down a little bit, you will be able to find SciNiTO listed as one of the English sources of EKB. By clicking on it, you will be faced with this page, at the bottom of which there is a direct link to SciNiTO. And if you are already signed into EKB, by clicking that, you will then be signed into SciNiTO as well. That's the second way. And the third way, if you find yourself using the EKB journal management system to find various journals and articles, if you click on a journal and go to its page and scroll down a little bit, underneath each article that is available, there will be a button that says View on SciNiTO. If you press that, you will be redirected not only to SciNiTO, but that article's page on SciNiTO. I should mention as well that for our EKB users, not only are those 270 million scholarly works that I mentioned available, obviously a certain amount of them, 62 million of which are open access, but EKB's own subscriptions to various journals are included in SciNiTO. You can search through them, you can ask the AI chat about them, and it will use those to answer you as well. So now that you know how to access ekbscinito.ai and you know some things about how SciNiTO can help the research process, we'll actually jump in and take a hands-on look at SciNiTO AI. As we go through, make sure to please submit your questions so we can answer them after the demo during the Q&A. Now, if you were to give me a few moments, I will reshare my screen and we can jump into the demo. You should have my screen now, I believe. So welcome to SciNiTO. Now, a couple things that we took a look at last time, a couple things that I didn't have time to show and I can do very quickly today mixed in with the recap. So first of all, we took a look primarily at the search function and the AI chat. We went through, we explained and took a look at all of these various filters that are available and the advanced search feature, and we managed to narrow down something from 269 million results down to 80 something. Now, one feature that I forgot to show you that time was the easy access to the search history. Now, if I go back here, you can see I pressed this button. If you press this button right here, you will be provided with your search history, so you can be sure that you won't lose a search that you've done that you want to access later. This was the one we did, I believe. So if I were to click on that, it'll load it. It'll apply all the filters that I had, advanced or otherwise. And you can see we've narrowed down to 83 results based on what I've searched for, which is biochemistry and not COVID. Only in the last 5 years as well, and everything by Harvard University. And only also articles in terms of article type, so not book chapters, not reviews, and such. So that's what I was talking about with identifying your research gap or finding your proper sources. This is how easily SciNiTO AI can help you with that. Another thing I did not show you last time was the ability to download citations. So if you click on the little 3 dots here and press download citations, you will actually be given the 2 options of EndNote and BibTeX. And if you click on one of them, you can just download that and be able to use it as easily as that. So that was another thing. We took a look at the rest of the features, which once again, you can go to the basics session to check. As for the bookmark and the note as well, which I didn't show you, we will take a look at that later once we go through the projects and notes function. So there is that with the search and everything we missed, and a little bit of recap for anyone who might have missed that last time. So next up is the AI chat. We took a look at all of its features, the quick research, the deep research, filters, the ability to add sources as well. And we took a look at some of the answers I had already, some of the questions I had already asked it based on a few sources. Now, another thing I did not show is this handy button here, which shows you your chat history with the AI chat. And you can access any of these. You might have delved deep and you might have asked it follow-up after follow-up, and you don't want to lose that. There are a couple of ways to not lose that. One of them is accessing it here. So you can find all of your searches here. And another thing I did not show, I believe, was the add sources feature, which is if you don't want the AI chat to look through, thousands, however many sources that are relevant to the question you are asking, and you just want to limit it to a couple or a few articles, you can absolutely do that. So if we actually go here, press add sources. I showed this a little bit, but you can search any article here by title. It'll bring it up. So for example, if I do AI in engineering, you can see it'll just start bringing me, based on what I've searched, results. I can select any number of these and click OK, and it'll add them to the top here. Now, once I ask the AI chat a question, it won't search through the entire database. It will only look through these two, and it'll provide me with an answer, which I actually did before, so I have one ready to show you. I gave it 2 articles, one of which was about the use of AI in engineering. The other one was about the use and practicality of AI in medicine. And the question I asked was, what are the differences in findings between these 2 articles, and specifically when it comes to their stance on the use of AI in their respective fields. Now, the AI chat only looked through the 2 articles that I selected for it, which were, as I titled, and it has given me an overview of them, the key differences in findings. It has even given me tables for quick visual summaries, as well as graphs, and so on and so forth. And it has linked every time it talks about one of the 2 articles in the chat as well. I can continue this. I can ask it more questions. There are also questions recommended for you, prompts that you can select, and the AI chat will answer you as well. So that's one other thing we didn't really get time to show you, and now we've seen. So with that, I believe we are done with the recap and the AI chat as well, and we can now actually jump into the next part, which will be the reviewer. So we talked a little bit about what the reviewer can do, and now we'll take a direct look at it. But in short, the reviewer is here for you to have a pre-review in a safe environment, also in a secure environment. You can be ensured that your work will not be shared nor used for anything. And you can have that pre-review here before actually submitting your work to actually be reviewed elsewhere. So I have done a few reviews before, but if you go to the reviewer page, you will actually be, once again, told that your work is completely secure. It will not be used. No one will have access to it because, it is a manuscript and you don't want that out there. And then by pressing continue, you can actually upload any file here and the review will start. So if I just come here and select one of these, it'll just upload it, and a series of processes will begin that will analyze your manuscript based on the structure that it has. There's also this beta feature up here, which is a scored mode, which it gives you a numbered score as well. We recommend you use that and give us some feedback so we can improve it as well. So now that this has uploaded, we should, yes, get the prompt that it is uploaded successfully, and you can press start review. It'll take a while. We're not going to wait for all of these processes to complete, right? I don't want to waste your time today, but once these are done, you will have a pre-review of your manuscript all in hand, easy to read, with actionable feedback. Now, to take a direct look at that, I've prepared some from before. So if we click on, once again, there's a history of all the reviews you've done over here as well. This is a review I did a while ago, and we'll talk about the get recommendation, and we'll talk about the recommendation part later, but you can download this entire report as well, should you wish to, as easily as that. It'll give you a PDF file and you can use that. But so if we click on any of these for the full review of them, we can see that it analyzes based on sections of your manuscript of the abstract, the introduction, the method, the result, the discussion, and the literature cited. You can click through any of these and read the feedback that the AI has given you based on your manuscript, the summary of the assessment, a detailed evaluation, concrete suggestions for further improvement, and finally, the strengths and the weaknesses of your work. And you can use all of this information to better your manuscript, better your research before actually submitting it for real review. You can click through all of these, go through the introduction should you wish. Once again, you get weaknesses and recommended improvements all the way down to literature cited in your work as well, and the strengths and weaknesses, as well as listing everything that was in your references as well. So that is, in short, what the reviewer does in terms of the actual review. There are a couple other things that it can do as well, one of which is the get recommendation, which if we scroll down a little bit, we will have two sections here. Now, if there are similar works to yours, the reviewer will find them and list them here for you. Perhaps you've missed one of them, a similar work that would have been helpful to know about before. And based on the manuscript and the review that it's done, it will find other relevant works, similar works, and list them here for you. Second is the recommended journals, which we'll take another look at as well in the recommendation feature of SciNiTO AI, but it will organize and recommend various journals for you based on your manuscript, and it'll order them from Q1 all the way down to Q4. So with the quartile method of the top 25%, 25 to 50%, 50% to 75, and so on. And these will be the recommended journals for your work. You might want to then, get in contact with them and have your work reviewed or potentially published finally. But the reviewer can help you, SciNiTO AI can help you find those relevant journals much more quickly and much more easily. So, and if you don't want to just look at them here, you can also download the list of recommendations. And you can just click that, download them. And my screen is not shared on, it's only shared on Chrome, so I can't show you the file just yet, but it'll be an Excel file that lists all the various journals, their links, so on and so forth, and all the information available in a single file ready to use. Also, make sure to give us some feedback down here as well to help us improve the reviewer too. So that is the reviewer. That is how it works and all the information it can give you. I actually have, I believe, another example as well, which was, yes, the scored mode. So once again, that was a feature that we saw in the beginning. You can turn that on or off should you wish, but it will actually give you an overall percentage score of the various parts of your manuscript, which you can then improve and act on, so on and so forth. As you can see in this one, apparently methods are 21%, while discussion is 90% in terms of score. So that's something to use and keep an eye out for as well. So now that we're done with the reviewer, we talked a lot about recommendation here, so we can actually go and jump into the recommendation part. Now, I did discuss how with the reviewer you can upload your manuscript, and while it is secure and it won't be used or accessed by anyone else but you, you still might not be comfortable doing that. You might want to just keep your work exclusively to yourself and the places you trust, and only have it be accessed to people you know and can trust. So if you want to do that, even with the assurance that it won't be used, the recommendation feature can come in quite handy for you. If we press continue here, that was another assurance that your research is secure and won't be used anywhere else. You will be met with this page here. And here, you don't have to upload your manuscript. You don't have to give information that you don't want to, other than just the title and the abstract of your work. And down here, you can have some filtering options. You want only Q1 journals, or you want only open access ones. You don't want any subscriptions. And you can then put in that information and get a recommendation. I actually have something pre-written for this. Let me just copy paste it real quick. And we'll talk a little bit about how this works and how you can use it. So now this is a bit of a real example in my case, actually. I'm working on my master's degree right now in English translation, and I'm working on a thesis, a lengthy research, which will at some point hopefully become an article that I can get published. So it is about post-colonialism and its relation to video games, both of which are things I have an interest in, and I'm researching this. Now, I'm trying to look ahead in the future. I'm trying to see what journals I can keep an eye out for, potentially get in contact with, talk to, for an eventual publishing opportunity, right? So, and I don't want to upload the manuscript I have so far anywhere. I only want to write a title and an abstract and just press get recommendations and see the various relevant and recommended journals when it comes to the research I'm working on. Now, the more detailed and well-written your abstract is, the more accurate the recommendations you will get will be. So, for example, the first one that it's brought me here is culture studies and critical methodologies. Culture studies does fit what I'm looking for. Continuing down, you can see European Journal of Cultural Studies as well, the Journal of Communication Inquiry, so on and so forth. I cannot read that, but 3 Q1 options, then it goes down from there, and it orders them based on a few criteria, their SJR rank and the H index, impact factor, so on and so forth, SJR score. And I can click show more here. I can get more information about them. I can see the various topics that are discussed in this journal, see if they fit what I'm looking to impart with my research and analyze with my research, and I can find a potentially suitable journal for my work. And you can also click on any of these and actually go to the publisher, go to the journal as well, their website. And you can also, as we saw in the reviewer agent as well, just export all of that information by clicking export to Excel here too. All of these recommended journals, I mean. So that is the recommendation. Before that, that was the reviewer. How these tools, just as a couple examples, one real example in my case can help you as it's helped me find various things and make research faster and easier. So next up, one feature before the final one, we are going to take a look at the PDF analysis feature. Now, PDF analysis, as its name suggests, will, with the help of AI, help you extract insights and summarize a PDF file. And the reason why I'm saying PDF file is because it doesn't need to be a research article. It doesn't need to be structured like it does for the reviewer Doesn't need to be a manuscript. It can be just a file filled with information that potentially your professor gave you or you found somewhere. Now, that file might be 100 pages long and you might not have time to fully go through it, or 50 pages long, however much it is, and you don't have time to read through it entirely. What the PDF analysis does, it is help you very quickly, as you saw, I just upload a file here, very quickly get various things like a summarization, the key findings, the conclusions, so on and so forth. Now, as the document is processed, we will be redirected to the AI as well as the PDF viewer right here. So this will load, you have access to your PDF file here. You can look through it, read through it. If you want to copy parts, you can, so on and so forth. And this is nothing uncommon, but what is handy is on the right side of the screen here, you have access to a dedicated AI that is looking through the PDF you've given it. And once again, it won't use it, it won't train itself or upload it somewhere. It is only here to help you. Now, if I tell it just to give me a summary, it'll scan it, it'll read through it, and it'll give me a summary of the work. Summary of the article, the core opportunities and risks of AI. This one is about AI itself as well. So we're going a bit meta here by asking AI about it, but it will give you various tables and graphs summarizing information for you to be able to quickly be viewed through. You can continue asking the AI chat more and more about the PDF until you have everything that you wanted out of it, out of that file, and then you can move on to the rest of your research. And this will take exponentially less time than just sitting here scrolling through page after page and reading through entire research articles. And not just one, your research won't be done by 19 pages of reading. You will have to read hundreds and hundreds of pages. So this is how the PDF analysis can help you do that. Now, you will also have access to the analyses that you've done before. I've done a few, for example, that we can take a look at with some follow-ups. By just pressing these arrow buttons here, you will have access to the history of your analyses as well. Now, I uploaded this article, and I first, to begin with, just wanted a summary of it. I got the summary, I got all the information I needed, for example, and then I continued and I wanted more information about the main findings of the article. It gave me a summary, and I don't have to read through all this either. I can just read through a summary, or I can actually ask it for more concise information or exactly what I'm looking for, which is what could be the future steps of this study. And it'll look through and give you potential future steps based on all the information analyzed in the study and whatever it has thought and written about the future possibilities of that field of study. And the AI will summarize all of that for you and put it at your disposal. You can continue doing this however long you need to be able to get all the information you need. So that is then the PDF analysis feature. We took a look at how it works, how easily you can work with it, and how fast it potentially works. Now, last but not least, we are at projects and notes. Now, I talked a bit at the top of the workshop about how there are collaboration features and tools in SciNiTO AI and how it can help you keep all of your work organized. Now we'll take a look at an example at how that works. By coming here, you will have access to various projects that you've made. And what we mean by a project is this. We'll click through and take a closer look at it, but it is something I've made and named, and you can make more if you want here by pressing this button. You can name it anything you wish, and write a bit about it, and then you can add your collaborators by just searching for their name, misspelled that, but by just searching for their name here, and it'll bring up a list, and you can add them to this project, and they will be invited to check it here and be able to work on it with you. Now, if we click on it and take a more detailed look, we can see just how that works. You can see when you made it and when you've last modified and changed it. Down here, you will be able to see all the collaborators that you might have added. And it gets interesting in these tabs here. There are bookmarks, there are notes, and there are documents. Now, bookmarks, we saw in the search that there was this button down here with every search result that the search feature had found, which is just, a standard bookmark icon. That means that you can bookmark this particular result so you won't lose it later in a few places. One of which is just regular bookmarks. You might not have a project that you're actively working on, but you found this article interested in and you don't want to lose it. So you just bookmark that. Or if you've made a project like the one I've made, the biochemistry research project, you can bookmark it in here. Now, I've bookmarked 3 different articles here that I might want to read later, or I want my collaborators that are working on this project with me to be able to see and read as well. So I've bookmarked them and they are all in one place, and I don't have to go through all of my searches again only to get here. Next up was the add note that we talked about. Now you can do that with any specific article or just a general note that you can add here. By just pressing this, you can write your note, and if it's on a particular article, it'll just have the URL here. If not, you can give it a URL, and you can stick it to wherever you want, just some general notes potentially, or your research project. Now, I believe I might have a note here that I could show you. No, I don't. Okay, that is completely fine, but you've seen how you can make notes, you can bookmark things, so on and so forth, and you can access, if we just do this, go to the full page of the article that you have here. If it's open access, you can view the PDF, so on and so forth. So you can basically see just how interconnected everything is and how quickly you can work with SciNiTO AI, how much time it saves you, and how everything is in one place. So that was projects and notes. If you have a lot of projects, you can search through them, you can filter them, so on and so forth. So you can look through your general bookmarks, which are unassigned. And this is just one of the features that will help you be able to make your work more efficient. Now, bit of a note here. This feature of SciNiTO AI, the projects, is being currently worked on and will be renamed to Research Space. It will have some features added to it and so on. So you can be on the lookout for that. And at some point, potentially, we can show you how that works as well. So we've taken a hands-on look at the reviewer, the recommendation, the PDF analysis, and the projects as well. And we've seen how and talked about how they can help the researcher in all of the different steps of research, each of which have their own unique challenges and so on. So that brings us to the end of the demo. Now, if you give me a few moments, I will reshare the slides and we can move on to the Q&A section. We finished with the live demo. With all of that said and shown, now we can take a bit of time, as much as we can, obviously, to answer potentially some of your questions about EKB SciNiTO AI. So, Ferishte, if you can hear me, if you'd like to turn on your microphone, you can join me here. We can both go through some questions. I can answer some, and our product manager can answer some of the more technical ones or detailed ones that you might have. So, give me a few moments here to check. I see a couple questions in the Q&A section, and some are being added. Another question I see here is the reviewer tool free? Yes, absolutely. For EKB users, if you simply sign in with your EKB credentials, all of the features are free and they are not limited in any way. You can use any of them however many times you want. You simply need to sign in with EKB, as we saw in the beginning of today's session. And you can also check our recordings if you maybe missed that part. If you want to really know how to sign in with EKB, you can do that. So let me see. Another question I'm seeing here is the PDF analysis limited pages or size? There was a bit of text at the bottom of PDF analysis which said only up to 20 megabytes. So you cannot upload, a gigabyte of a PDF file or anything crazy like that. It does have a limit, but even if you find a very large PDF file, you can section it and upload certain parts that you may be more interested in to be able to research. This might be, I'll pass this one off to Ferishte. Ferishte, if you can hear me. Someone has asked, how can it help in statistical analysis?
Hi, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. For these questions, how can SciNiTO help with statistical analysis? I should notice that SciNiTO doesn't directly perform a statistical test, but it can support the statistical analysis in your research portfolio in several ways. For example, you can find and summarize studies using the statistical method in data approach in our AI chat, or you can use a PDF that explains different type of statistical analysis on it and use it in the PDF analysis of the SciNiTO and ask your question regarding that document and get the answer. So yes, SciNiTO can help you in different type of analysis, but not directly, maybe indirectly. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope that answers your question. I see someone asking for the recording, the previous recording that we had of the basic session, I believe you mean. You can find that on our YouTube channel, which there will be links available a little bit later once we get to the end of this workshop. But on YouTube, if you search Notion Wave apps, you can actually find the recording of the previous session, soon this recording as well. Let me see, there are questions coming in. Thank you very much. Let me I will pass this one to Ferishte as well, as Ferishte, you are way more experienced in academia as me. You have a PhD, so you might have actually faced this before. But someone has asked, does using these AI features have to be mentioned within the manuscript before submission?
Yes, it's more professional to add a disclaimer in the acknowledgement part of your papers and definitely mention that you use for example, SciNiTO AI chat or other AI chat for paragraphing, rewriting, and other writing styles, not for generating whole manuscripts. And it's better to mention it in the acknowledgement part of your manuscript, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. As we said before, academic integrity is very important to us. So with professionalism, you can mention how you've used it, and your organization might already be aware of it. As you saw, it is a source in EKB. It is one of the English sources. And, you can mention that, as Ferishte said, it hasn't generated entire parts of your research for you. It has only assisted. We are running a bit short on time here, but one last thing I see here is someone asking for help to logging into EKB SCiNiTO. As I mentioned once before, if you have your EKB credentials, your university email address, as well as a password that has been signed up in the EKB website. So as far as that's ready to go, simply by going to ekb.scinito.ai and pressing sign in with EKB, you should be able to just fully link those and sign into SCiNiTO easily. If you have further issues, if it might be a particular case that is giving you a lot of issues and nothing is working, you can email us at, I believe, support@SCiNiTO email address, and it is also, the email address is also on the website. You can do that there as well, and you can ask for help and we will check and get back to you as quickly as possible. So I believe we are running short on time for this webinar in particular, and we have a couple other things to mention as well. So we will end the Q&A section there. Thank you very much for your questions and your attention. But let us move on to the next part. Let me just get back to my slides. There we go. So one thing I would like to mention to you today, I mentioned this in the basic session as well, it is the AI for Research Training Network and Advocate program. Now, there are 2 tracks in this program. You can either apply to become a trainer or you can apply to become an advocate. In short, we're looking for university professors and researchers and anyone who can actively help and promote the use of AI research tools that are offered by Notion Wave to EKB. Not just SCiNiTO AI as well, this is the one we're talking about today, but other tools as well. We will have other various products which will be presented later in the future in this workshop series that we hope will run. You can find, I believe, in the chat, as my colleagues will send them, links to the application forms for becoming either a trainer or an advocate for AI for research, and you can apply to those, fill out your information, and once you apply, our team will reach out to you to provide more information and get you onboarded as soon as possible. Also, make sure to follow us at EKB Notion Wave on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Join the WhatsApp channel as well, all links of which will be pasted in the chat now from my colleagues. And also make sure to subscribe to our newsletter on our website so you can be notified about future webinars and workshops if you found this one useful, and much more. That brings us to the end of today's workshop. Thank you very much for joining us, for your time and your questions and your participation. This has been the advanced training session for EKB SCiNiTO AI. I've been Reza, joined by Farishta Falla, who's the product manager of SCiNiTO AI. And we can say that we are proud to be a part of Egypt's journey towards research excellence. And we hope that SCiNiTO AI is just one of the many steps towards that goal. Thank you, good luck, and see you on the next one.